Your Amazon keyword rankings didn't drop because your listing got worse. It's because Amazon just simply changed the math and you didn't account for it. This is one of the slow, silent killers for Amazon brands when they notice their sales have plateaued or are dipping, and they don't realize it until it's too late. So in this video, I'm going to go over why this issue might be occurring and what are some possible solutions for you in your specific situation to fix it. So let's go over a situation. You're selling on Amazon, things are going well. You even increase your PPC budget, but now you see you're spending even more to maintain the same amount of sales. And the next month you increase your budget by 5%, 10%, and still you're on that same range, right? Your ACOS looks good, but you're not growing your sales. You're just putting more money in, so your TACOS is going higher and your margins are shrinking. And you realize something is wrong here. Like there's a bottleneck here that we need to solve. So typically here are a few things sellers try out right away. They re-optimize their listing, right? Change the images, rewrite the title point with more specific things, drop the price because they see sellers in the same space are a little bit more competitive and they're like, oh my God, I can't compete anymore, so I'm gonna lower my price. Or they look at the PPC and just blame everything on certain campaigns. And like this one has a high ACOS, let me lower the bid a little bit. This one, the ROAS isn't that good, let me put more money into here. But this is the completely wrong approach. So what is the main reason why you've lost keyword rankings? Well, the first thing you have to understand is that keyword rankings on Amazon is a velocity game. Not about quality, not about what your ACOS is, not about the ROAS you're getting. It's about sales velocity, okay? Amazon rankings don't care how good your product is. They care about sales velocity per keyword. And this is something you constantly need to track, especially for your money keywords. So a few things you want to look into is sales volume. How many sales are you generating for this keyword every month or every week? You should have a general ballpark of how much you're doing for these. Now, obviously, there's so many keywords on Amazon you can rank for, right, in your index for. You want to look into your top 10 to 20 keywords, okay? Put them on a spreadsheet. Put the average sales velocity, how much you get a month over month compared to last year or a month before, and have that set in place. So you're constantly tracking these numbers, okay? Then you want to look into a time window, as I discussed, over a short rolling window. So typically you want to look into it within an 8-day period, which is known as CPR. I'll go over what this is, because that's what Amazon uses as a baseline to identify whether you should be ranked on the top half of page 1 for this keyword. And the next thing is competition, right? How are you comparing to competitors who are bidding on the same term? How many sales are the average seller doing on page 1, right? Like if I'm not on page 1 for a keyword, the average seller is doing 25 sales within 8 days and you're currently at 12. Well, you know how you want to get page 1. You need to increase your sales velocity on that specific keyword, right? So if your velocity falls behind the market, your ranking is going to drop inevitably because that's Amazon ecosystem. It's a sales velocity ecosystem where customers search for what they already want to buy. So if you're not converting well on those, obviously they're not going to show you to more customers. So here's one of the main issues. The CPR quietly increases and nobody notices. So let's say, for example, for a keyword, the search volume increased tremendously. Like there's a spike, whether it's seasonal or it's Q4, but search volume has spiked. Now, what this causes is more sellers are going to bid on that keyword, right? Which causes the cost per click to rise. So now you have to bid even more to be a little bit more aggressive. And the competition intensifies. Now, with more search volume, that means there's more sales going into these keywords, right? Which means all these competitors bidding on these keywords are now seeing their sales on this keyword increase, which overall increases the amount of sales you need to start ranking higher for it. But if you don't account for it, how are you supposed to know for it, right? So CPR, as I said, the number of sales you need within 8 days to hold page 1 ranks. So pretty simple. Search volume rises, more sellers compete or enter in the market, the cost per clicks increase, and the CPR bar moves higher. So the amount of sales you need on these keywords move higher. So even if you're selling the same units as last month and your ads look fine, you can still lose ranking because the bar has moved, right? You're still here while the market is now here and you didn't account for it, right? And this is one of the biggest issues because if you don't account for it, you'll see your sales velocity drops again and drops again and drops again because the bars keep on moving. So in a scenario like this, you want to double down on this term in your PPC campaign, give it more budget, optimize it more in your listing, on your titles, target more of these sellers who are targeting these keywords so you can overall improve your bestseller rank. But if you don't overall even account for this change, how are you supposed to diagnose and fix it? So one way we can identify this change is you go to Helium 10 Cerebro or whatever tool you use, Jungle Scout, Data Dive, and put your ACOS in for whatever listing. And we want to look at all the keywords, right? And typically we want to only look at keywords that have good amount of search volume, right? So we can set the minimum criteria for example, 1,000, okay? 1,000 search volume, and we can hit, honestly, we can go to, we only want to focus on keywords we're ranked for, right? So we can go to max 301, okay? Something like that. Hit the filters, and it'll show you all of the keywords here, right? Now, typically what you want to do here is we can sort by search volume, highest to lowest, and obviously this is what we have here, right? And what it shows here is this is our current organic ranking, right? So we're on page 1 for these. But let's say for some keywords, we're not ranked high for, right? Like for example, this one, kojic acid. This listing has an organic ranking of 175 and has good search volume and good sales velocity. Like if we have a look here, doing about 277 keyword sales within weekly. Okay, it's pretty good, right? Now, what would I do if I wanted to increase my organic ranking for this? Well, what you have to do is look at the CPR. So the CPR is right here, and what this is, the estimated number of units that need to be sold over 8 days resulting from a search for this keyword in order for this product to rank on top half of page 1 for this keyword. So if I wanted to rank on the top half of page 1 for this keyword, it's right now at 49. So 49 sales within 8 days gets me to rank on the top half of this keyword. So that means my organic ranking will go from like 175 to like 40, 30, 20, whatever it is, right? And this is something you always want to track. So if this is a keyword I'm actually focused on my campaigns, I want to go into my actual campaign setup for this, and within 8 days look at, hey, how many sales am I generating? Am I like at 15, 20, 25? How's my conversion rate? How's my cost per click? Is it pretty relevant to what the other campaigns are? And if I know it's within my threshold, okay, can I add more budget to it? Can I run more topic search? Can I add this keyword more into my title, on my product packaging, whatever, to overall improve my sales, right? So this is very, very important. You will always want to look into this. You can look into how the search volume trend has been. For example, like this one has seen an 8% dip in its search volume. So obviously that's another thing you look into. The PPC bid. So this is a quick indicator. Like if you see that the CPR has gone up, it's probably because more people are bidding on this keyword. So for example, this one, if you can see, it's seen sort of like a highs and lows of like the dips in its bidding. So it's seen a little bit of an increase, but that's a sign that more people are bidding for this keyword. More people are searching for it, and overall the sales velocity for this keyword is going up higher. So this is a quick way for you to identify all your keywords, put it in a spreadsheet. Okay, what am I at right now? What do I need to hit to overall get back to page 1 for this keyword? Is it even reasonable? Do I convert well for it? Once you track all this, you'll have an idea of what you need to fix to go back to your goals and scale efficiently. So once you realize I need this many sales for this keyword within the time period, next thing is to identify your funnel. How did your funnel perform on this keyword? For example, from impressions, clicks to conversions, as we said. What's your click-through rate on this keyword? What's the average impressions? And what's your conversion rate is, okay? Because we don't want to funnel in traffic or spend so much money on terms that we have so low conversion rates for, right? We want to focus on the terms that we have really good metrics for. Because even if you increase your PPC bid, you probably won't even hit that limit. And if you do, it'll be in a super inefficient way with a super high ACOS, and it's not profitable, right? So we want to focus on the keywords that have the most leverage for us. And the quickest way for that is to use something like Amazon Search Query Performance Report. I have a video here, maybe I'll link it above. But go into that because it shows your most important keywords, okay? And it shows how you are, like how your funnel is performing for this. Like, is your impressions better than your click-through rate? Is your click-through rate better than your add to cart? Is your add to cart better than your conversion rate? Because once you identify the bottleneck, you can fix that certain thing, right? And when that's fully optimized, then you can funnel in more traffic onto this keyword because now it should perform better. Now, if this sounds like a lot to handle, don't worry. We help out sellers just like you scale the brand on Amazon. So if you're dealing with wasted PPC spend, flat rankings, low conversions, our 3-phase revenue growth system helps brand break plateaus, right? We will cover wasted ad spend, we rank on page 1 for your money keywords, and we increase your conversion rate for your listings. We took this brand Crazy Girls from 150,000 pounds to 535,000. So if you want to see if you're a fit for our system, hit the link down below in the description. And if you qualify, book a free call with me and my team. We will go over your brand with you in depth. So what's a quick way we can diagnose this data, okay? Find one keyword, okay? See its comparison from last month to this month or Q3 versus Q4, okay? See how the impressions went up or down, how the click-through rate went up or down, how the conversion rate went up or down. Whatever you identify, that's the real problem. Figure out how can I improve that. If you see a big drop in your click-through rate and your conversion rate, you know there's an issue when people click on your listing that does not compel them to buy. Maybe that's your infographics don't sell the product enough, your bullet points don't sell enough, you have like a lot of bad reviews for some reason, so quality is an issue. Your pricing is bad. You don't have any coupons, right? These are all things you want to look into and improve, right? Versus if you have a good conversion rate, but your click-through rate is bad, you know there's something wrong with your main image. Your main image is not optimized, right? You have a great product, it's killing it, but your main image is not optimized, your pricing is not competitive, and people are not clicking onto your listing. But whatever the drop is, that's the real problem. Diagnose that. So to build upon that, let's say your click-through rate drops. You know you have either a weak main image, so it's weaker than competitors for whatever reason. Price is not competitive for whatever reason. Your creatives, so let's say your competitors updated the creatives for seasonal things, or it's a new thing in the product that people like and you want to show that visually. You always want to optimize that, right? You always want to A/B test your main image consistently. And the last thing is lost relevance. So maybe your PPC campaigns are targeting so wide to the point where you're not even focusing on the right people, right? You're focusing on very broad demographics, so naturally your click-through rate is going to be low because let's say, for example, you're selling, this is pretty much like, what would you say this is? This is a sport water bottle that squeezes stuff out, right? If you're bidding on terms like general water bottle for desk, stuff like that, that's obviously going to have a low click-through rate because it's a super specific product. It's for athletes, people training, and it squeezes at the top. It's not a cap, it's not a lid. So obviously, the more specific you're going to be, the better click-through rate you're going to get. So that's also a very important thing you want to look into. Now, to build upon what happens if your conversion rate is bad, that tells you your offer is just simply not competitive, right? Maybe you have a bunch of competitors showcasing their ads on your listing, and these buyers click on your competitors because they have a better offer, right? Maybe they have way more reviews or higher quality stars on your listing. Your listing does not match your main image, or it's a lot of stuff that's vague and all over the place, like your quality is wrong, the size charts are wrong, whatever is wrong. But the biggest thing typically is your value proposition weakness. Like you're just not conveying the value of your product strong enough, okay? So in your A+ content, video ads, main image, everything like that, right? You really sell your product, because the hardest thing on Amazon is getting the click. Getting the click is the hardest thing. So once you get the click, you want to make sure they buy. That's the number one thing. You want to make sure they buy, because you're competing with all of these sellers, right? And for them to click on your listing versus someone else, you need to make sure they buy your product and feel stupid for going anywhere else. So through it all, why PPC alone can't fix these issues as we discussed, because your CPR, your sales velocity is tied to all of these things. If you want to see increase in sales, you need to get more clicks. If you want to see increase in sales, you need a higher conversion rate, right? So just trying to spend more on ads, push more traffic, and force rankings back is the worst approach you can do. You're going to burn money, your ACOS is going to go up, your tacos are going to go up, and it's just a weak funnel. You have to fix your funnel fully, then amplify it with ads, not the other way around. So this is how the Amazon funnel works, right? And this is something you always want to be optimizing for and always be updating, right? Because can you keep up with the current velocity requirement for that keyword today? Not last quarter, not last year, not when you were super profitable. Because every year, this is going to go higher and higher because more people are buying on Amazon. There's more bids on keywords and there's more sellers, right? So you always want to analyze all these things. What's the market competition looking like? How did the search volume shift for these keywords, right? Which means how much does the CPR go up, right? How is your overall funnel performing from this week to last week, from last month to the month before, from Q3 to Q4, right? Then how is your offer? Is there anything you can do to improve your offer? When any of these things change, your rankings will change automatically unless you adjust for it. And the best sellers, the biggest brands, are the ones who are optimizing around this funnel constantly, so they're always ahead of the competition. Hopefully this video gave you a really in-depth understanding of how you can optimize your funnel if you see your keyword ranking drop. I promise you, if you follow something like this constantly for all your products, you will identify not only what the reason is, but how you can fix it. Now, if you need help scaling on Amazon, like I said, hit the link down below in our bio to see how our system works and to see if you qualify with working with us. Now, we typically work with successful Amazon sellers. So these are guys doing over 30,000 bare minimum, right? Because our system helps amplify your products and what your current advertising budget is. So if you want to scale, hit the link in bio and we'll talk soon.